Hello folks, this is John Oakes here today with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location, and we are here, yes, again to go over our newest addition to our inventory with you here today. This being the car that you see right behind me here. This is a very, very nice 1972 Chevrolet Camaro. Now again, these cars, they're very popular, especially the ones of which like we have here that are the split bumper versions. I'm not sure if you're all aware of it out there, but you can in fact get one that has the bumper that goes the whole way across the front end, or you can get where it's got the two sides on it here, and that would be your split bumper. Again, a very popular option, and it makes the car look so much different than having that full-size bumper on the car. So to give you a brief rundown on the car here, as far as the car goes, obviously white exterior with the black rally stripes. You've got the Cowl induction hood. It is steel, by the way. You've got the front air dam, and you've got the rear trunk spoiler on it. And again, we'll get to see all of that as we do our walk around. As far as the drive line in the car goes, we've got a 380 3-stroker motor in this car. It has the turbo 350 automatic transmission along with the GM 10-bolt rear end. It is a POSI unit in that differential, and it's a 276 gear. And as far as the running gear, as far as steering, braking, and so forth, we've got power steering on this car along with power brakes, and it is in fact 4-wheel disc brakes on this car. So again, it's going to start and stop excellent. Again, the motor is going to have plenty of power, and again, your braking system is going to have plenty of stopping power as well. So we'll start our walk around now, starting here at the front of the car. Of course, we've got our turn signal lenses and bezels. Again, all of that stuff on this car is in great condition. There's no chips or cracks anywhere in the lenses, and we'll just check each one out as we get to it. Wheels and tires, one of the first things that we kind of get to here that we can discuss. Obviously an aftermarket wheel and tire combination for the car. It's an 18-inch American racing wheel. Very nice looking wheel here. It's got the gray centers here with the machine polished lip here on them as well. Just a super nice look. As far as tires go, all 4 tires are the same name brand and same model per se of tire. These are the Accelera name brand, and then the Phi R is the actual model of the tire there. So you're going to have the same tread pattern both front and rear. Now the sizes are slightly different front to back on the car. Up front we've got two, I think they're 245/35 ZR18s. On the back they were 275/40 ZR18s. So a little difference there, but like I said, same brand tire, same model of tire too. Of course, we've got the Z28 badging here on the front fenders, the matching badging on the other side. We'll see that when we get there. And then panel fitment and alignment that we always go over here. We've got our door gaps to the front side, as well as the back side of our door. Pretty uniform on the driver's side of the car. The elevations are dead on whenever you're looking at the front fender versus the door, and the door versus the rear quarter panel. Again, all your body lines all match up on the car too. Chrome door handles that are in great condition. No pitting, no scratches or cracks in any of the finish there. And we do have the dual mirrors here, body colored mirrors here, both sides, passenger and driver's side. The mirror itself, the housing is in great shape, and the glass is in great condition as well. Glass in the actual door itself, well, we can obviously tell that it is a tinted glass in this car. You'll notice there are no drip rail moldings, but all of your bodywork is nice and smooth up top here. You do have the brake trim work here on the back side here, but again, that is in great shape too. Your rubber down here along the bottom of your window, your scrubber per se, that is in great shape. It's not cracked or anything, looks to be in really good condition. window, no chips or cracks anywhere in the glass either. Now let's open our door up and take a look at the interior. So again, we've got the full black interior, black vinyl seats, buckets up front. I guess you consider the back ones buckets, since you do have that center console or that hump for the drive shaft that goes all the way through the car. We've got seat belts up front, so again, that's going to keep the driver and passenger good and safe. The dash up front here, again, that's your factory dash. No cracks that I can see in the dash pad. The instrument cluster, that is aftermarket gauges, but again, all super nice gauges. I want to say, I think the name brand on those is TPI Tech, but again, the gauges are in really nice shape there, and again, just a nice set of gauges. Got a 4-spoke style steering wheel there, custom wheel with a nice black comfort grip on that. You've got the center console with the glove box right there in the center, horseshoe shifter there for your automatic transmission there. So yeah, all of that up front there looks good. The seat upholstery looks good. Carpeting nice and black. There's no rips or tears anywhere, and no fading that I see either. As far as the door panels go, door panels look to be in really nice condition on this car too. There's no rips or tears anywhere in here. Even your armrest pads here don't really show any signs of heavy wear and tear. There's no splits or cracks anywhere in them. They look really good. And the other thing is we always take a look at our seals and so forth, weather stripping up along the door frame here, all in excellent shape. There's no cracks, rips, or tears anywhere in that. As we come out to the door and we look at our weather stripping around the door, same thing, nice and soft all the way around, attached good and secure, no rips or tears anywhere, and the little rubber bump stops are all on here too. So we'll close the door up, and we're going to work our way around towards the back of the car. So again, the quarter panel itself, nice and straight on the car. We look up at the rear window in the car, and the rear window is in good shape too. No chips or cracks in that rear glass. Again, if you can't tell, it is slightly tinted there, but again, a good look for an all-white car with the black stripes there. It just kind of blends everything together there. Got the bright window trim all the way around here, and that looks to be in really good shape there too. I don't really see any dents or dings in any of that, and it looks to be all securely fastened to the car. As we come back to the trunk here, we'll look at our gaps all the way around our trunk here on both sides. Again, pretty uniform there all the way around. You'll notice those black stripes that continue on to the deck lid, coming from that from your hood there also to kind of complete that look. That 3-piece trunk spoiler on the car. So you got your 2 ends here, and of course your center section, all of which again are securely fastened on the car and all line up very well. All the way to the back here now, if we look at our tail panel, again, that's in great shape. Our lenses and bezels here for our tail lights, no chips or cracks in any of the lenses, and the bezels look really nice too. I don't really see any pitting on any of those bezels. Same thing with the rear bumper, nice chrome rear bumper here, no pitting, no cracks or anything in that finish. It all looks to be really nice. And of course, our lower valance back there, that all looks good too underneath the car. Now we'll go ahead next and open up our trunk lid. That way we get an idea of what this looks like on the inside of our trunk. So the key does in fact work the lock. As we raise our trunk lid up, you'll see first that the underside of the trunk lid painted the same white as the exterior of the car. The trunk light itself works. You've also got your decal here as far as the differential goes, and the decal for the jack and the spare tire and so forth also. Weather stripping in the trunk area, all in great shape too, nice and soft, no rips or tears. All your water channels or your rain gutters back here, those are good and solid, and again, that's going to direct that water right out the back of the car. And then of course your trunk floor itself, this is in excellent shape. No signs of any patching whatsoever here, all good and solid. And of course it is painted the correct black and aqua trunk spatter paint there. So all in all, as far as the trunk goes, both inside and the lid, all looks good back here. We close that up, it closes nice and easy, and now we'll continue to the passenger side. So again, quarter panel, all nice and straight here. As we look up the whole entire side of the car here, again, we can tell that all of our elevations as far as our quarter panel, door, and front fender all lining up very, very nice. Again, we see the condition of the wheels and tires on all four corners. They all look very good. And again, all of our turn signal lenses and so forth, side marker lights, those are all in great shape. Now that we've come up to the door or the passenger side of the car here, again, glass, no chips or cracks in the glass. We've already mentioned the mirror there. Again, the housing and the glass in that mirror are both in great shape. Same thing with our door handle over here. The chrome finish on there is in really nice shape. No pitting or scratching there either. And like I said, elevations, gaps, very uniform front to back, body lines all matching up on our door. Now we'll open our door up, take a look now from the passenger side. That way you get the just the good overall view of the interior and what it looks like. The dash is in great shape. The seat upholstery, no rips or tears in that. As I mentioned, I see no rips, tears, or fading in the carpeting. So again, all of that looks good. Along with the gauges and so forth that's in the car, this does in fact have, I believe it's a Sony AM/FM CD player, and along with that, it's got a set of, I believe they are Kicker 6x9 speakers that are located and mounted in that rear package tray. So you'll be able to listen to the radio. Should have some fairly decent sound out of that. And again, before we close this side up, all your weather stripping and your seals around the door frame, as well as your weather strips here on the door, all in great shape. And we do also have the rubber bump stops on this side as well. So we'll close this up. Again, shuts very nice and easy. As I mentioned, we've got the matching Z28 badge on the passenger side front fender, and that'll bring us back around to the front of the car. So now that we're here, we get a good look of that split bumper, the front bumper there on the car. Again, just a very nice look for this Camaro. Your grille here obviously is paint matched to the color of the car. You do have the chrome inset here, and then of course your grille areas back in behind here, all good and solid, all intact, no breaks, no cracks anywhere in there, with the matching Z28 badging to go along with that. Now if we look underneath there, we can see that our car does in fact have that front air dam or the chin spoiler underneath it there. Just gives it a nice aerodynamic look to the car there. And then if we look up top now, of course we've got our header panel per se up here. That looks good with the Camaro badging here right in the center. Our steel Cowl induction hood with those black rally stripes. Just a really nice look for the car. And again, the hood fits very well, being that it is all steel. The windshield, no chips or cracks in the windshield. All of your trim around the windshield all securely fastened. And again, I do not see any dents or dings in that trim around the window. It does in fact have wipers too. Nice set of wiper arms and blades on it. It's just they're kind of recessed underneath the Cowl induction hood here for the car. So that's pretty much our walk around. Now let's go ahead next, see if we can find our hood latch here, and we will then go under the hood. There we go, we got it. And we'll go over our driveline next. So with the hood open, again, all steel, there's been no modifications made underneath here. So all of your bracing, all intact here. Nothing's been cut or modified. And then that's all done in black. Same thing with your engine compartment itself. And now we're looking at the engine. So as I mentioned first thing in the video, this does in fact have a 383 motor in it. Now a couple of things that we do know about our engine. It does have a 650 CFM Edelbrock carb with electric choke. It's got the aluminum intake on it as well. So that's going to be kind of your air fuel along with your air filter here, obviously, with the kind of the matte black, I guess, or satin black air cleaner lid. and matching valve covers. Again, you can see they're done with the red Chevrolet on both of those that match up. Of course, you've got your PCV and your breather over there, so that's going to help everything vent the way that it should. And then as far as your ignition system, so it's got an upgraded ignition system, obviously from stock. It's an HEI ignition system. You've got your distributor back there in the back. You've got a set of, looks like street fire wires by MSD. I'm not sure exactly of the size on those, but they look to be a little thicker wire there, so that's going to help deliver that spark a lot more efficiently there to the plugs there and get that to ignite a lot better there for better fuel efficiency, burn off and so forth. So that's that. It's got a nice set of billet spark plug wire looms there to keep everything nice and organized there. It does have the serpentine belt system here on the front. As I mentioned, power steering, power brakes back there, set of aluminum heads. These are blueprint aluminum heads, so that's going to help things run. So again, that aluminum head is just going to be a much more efficient head, a little bit better power there for you, especially when coupled with the exhaust that this car has on it. So as far as what we can see right here, we've got a nice set of ceramic coated 1.5-inch long tube headers there to dump into our exhaust there as it goes back through the underside of the car. For cooling, we've got the OE style radiator here, the stock style radiator. They have outfitted it with a electric fan. I believe this is a 16-inch, and it would be a puller fan, as it's going to pull air through the radiator from the backside there. Again, they removed the fan from the front of the motor. A little bit more efficient way of cooling too. Again, the electric fans always do a really good job there of that. And then all of your hoses, all of your radiator hoses, your heater hoses, all of that stuff is in really good condition. No leaks or anything. All your hose clamps are in excellent condition. So again, you're not going to have any worries there. Now behind this, I already mentioned it's got the automatic transmission, the Turbo 350, with that 10-bolt GM rear end, 276 gear, POSI differential there in that. So, and as I mentioned from the very get-go, power steering, power brakes, all 4-wheel disc brakes. So just a very nice overall car here. The fit and finish on it, just the overall look of the car, just super nice car here that somebody is going to be lucky enough to get into here and call their own. So with that said, I always take this time to make sure that if you're not on our website, our company website, watching this video, I always recommend that you go there, because that way you're going to see upwards of 100 photos of the car, inside, outside, underneath, you name it, you'll see it there in picture form. You can click on those pictures, blow them up, study the car. You can do all that stuff, so you can really get in and investigate things as much as you can. As far as like parts and accessories, I always recommend, if you see something, or maybe you don't see something on this car that you would possibly like to have added, we do all kinds of installations and so forth. Just reach out to us by phone, email, or text. Let us know what that might be. We can definitely get you prices on parts and labor to get that done. I know one of the big things is usually air conditioning. People love to get that installed on these cars. Vintage Air makes a variety of kits for each and every car just about out there, so I'm sure if that's something you want, we can definitely you know, take care of that need for you. Like I said, go to our website. It's hanksters.com to see those photos, see the descriptions, the pricing on the car. You'll see our retail pricing and what all that includes. That is going to include shipping, enclosed shipping to anywhere within the 48 contiguous states, as well as our Hanksters 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty. And again, if you're concerned about how that works, interested in how that works, definitely reach out to us. We'll be glad to go through that, you know, give you the once-over on that, let you know exactly how to utilize that if you would ever need to. Hopefully you wouldn't. So that's pretty much it for our 72 Camaro here. As far as the walk around, we're going to take a second to close this all up, get it on our lift, and then I'll meet back with with you here in just a moment to go over the underside of this car and then fire this 383 up and let you hear what it sounds like. All right, welcome back, folks. So here we are underneath our 72 Camaro. So as always, we're going to go through the complete underside here. I'm going to point out to you what I see underneath here as far as components, parts, accessories, and go over with you the condition of each one of those things. So as always, starting at the front on our 72 Camaro, we do in fact have that black front chin spoiler or air dam. Again, it's that plastic air dam. That all looks to be in good shape. Again, all the correct mounting hardware is all in it there, so it's good and securely fastened here to the front of our vehicle. And again, it makes for a nice looking vehicle. So back behind that then, of course, as always, we've got our radiator here. So I'm looking at the underside here to make sure we have no leaks or drips here. So again, this is nice and dry across the entire bottom of the radiator. Even at our lower radiator hose and the drain petcock, everything is dry. And of course, we know that this car does in fact have an electric fan on it, and the shroud for that and so forth is all intact. It's not broken or cracked or anything. All looks to be in good shape. As far as our suspension, we can kind of get into some of that now. We do have this front sway bar. It looks to be about a 1-inch sway bar. And again, your bushings at the frame, as well as out here at your sway bar end links, those are all in good shape. As a matter of fact, sway bar end links look to have the urethane style bushings. So again, those are all in nice shape. There's no splits or cracks in any of those. That's going to keep this front end nice and tight. So as far as the rest of suspension, of course, we've got our front cross member here. That is good and solid. No dents or dings here. Looks like that's in good shape. And again, that's very important because again, all of your suspension bolts off of that. So your lower control arms, your upper control arms, which are, by the way, like your stock OE style stamped steel components here. These are all in good shape. The ball joints on your control arms all look to be in good shape. They all have that little rubber dust boot cover on them. Your shocks, the bushings, the mounting hardware at the bottoms, that all looks good also. Of course, this is a power steering and a power brake car. So with the steering, we'll check the steering box, all our lines, check the pitman arm, drag link, tie rods, and tie rod ends. And everything looks to be in order on this car. Tie rod ends all have the rubber dust boot covers on those as well. Up at the power steering box, that is nice and dry also. So again, no worries there. And again, with the power brakes, this is 4-wheel disc brakes. Up front looks to be just your typical GM components. So whenever it comes time to replace those consumables, your brake pads, the rotors and such, you should be able to go into just about any auto parts store locally and pick those items up, no problems. And then of course our wheels and tires. We've already seen from our walk around video that this does in fact have the 18-inch American Racing aluminum wheels. And again, on the tire size there up front, we've got 245/35 ZR18s. On the back, which we'll get to here in a little bit, but I'll just call it out right now, the backs were 275/40 ZR18s as well. So again, tread on the tires are all in good shape. They're going to grip the road really, really good. If we move in here now towards the center of our car, we'll talk about some of the drive line now, starting with that engine. So as stated before, this is that 383 stroker motor here. The oil pan itself, 5-core pan, and it is nice and dry all the way around at the gasket, dry at the drain plug, and dry up around the rear of the pan itself. As far as the transmission, this is a turbo 350. So we've got the flywheel cover, which is all intact. That's going to protect that flywheel and torque converter. And then of course the oil pan itself underneath here for the transmission. This is nice and dry all the way around. Of course, with the transmissions on these cars, you have your transmission cross member along with the mount, all of which on this car are in great condition. Before we get get too far along the car here underneath, we want to go back and pick up at our exhaust system here. So the exhaust, a very nice set of ceramic coated 1.5-inch long tube headers here, coming into a full 2.5-inch exhaust here, going back into a set of Flowmaster mufflers, and then of course we've got the tailpipes that go up over top of the rear end, as they should on a car like this. As far as coming back a little further and looking at things like the subframe and the floors, well, the subframe nice and square, good and straight underneath here. Body mounts are in good shape here too. The bushings, no splits or cracks there. As far as the floors go, the floors look to be in good shape. I don't believe that this has had any patching or anything. It has been undercoated, as you can see the texture underneath, but you can also see all of the stamping lines, all of your bracing is all intact, all of that looks good. Of course, pinch welds and rockers on both sides. Your pinch welds are straight down both sides, rocker panels are good and solid. And then as far as your drive shaft goes, the drive shaft is a steel drive shaft. It is balanced, so that's going to help eliminate any of those driveline vibrations that you might have. As we come back a little further, we just take notice how nice and neat fuel lines and brake lines and such are all mounted along the bottom of the car here, all nice and dry as they come back through the car as well. As we get to the rear end on the car here, we do in fact have a GM 10-bolt rear end. This is a 276 gear, I believe, POSI unit, 10-bolt. And then off of that, for the suspension, we've got the multi-leaf rear suspension. We've got a nice set of shocks up in there. Looks fairly new here on the car. And again, those disc brakes on the rear of the car. So this car is going to stop on a dime. And again, those 18-inch American racing wheels with those tires, the 275/40 ZR18s on the back. The actual differential, if I come back in real quick on that, the differential cover, this is all nice and dry on the back end of the car. As I mentioned earlier, those fuel lines coming all the way back, no leaks whatsoever. The fuel tank is in great condition, as you can see here, no dents or dings anywhere in the tank. And again, your straps here for mounting and the hardware all in good shape here back here as far as that goes. The underside of the trunk here, the trunk floor itself, from what we can see, and again, we've already been in the trunk looking from the top side, but from the underside, everything looks good underneath here too. Now with that, that's pretty much the underside of our 72 Camaro. I always take this moment here just to again remind everybody out there that we are in fact an ATC trailer dealer. As a matter of fact, we just got some new trailers in, new stock inventory here for us today, and we have several more coming in to go along with the tons that we have outside already in stock. Again, if you're in the market for an enclosed car trailer or race trailer, we've got multiple models here ready to be sold. As a matter of fact, you could fit one of these nice classics in one of those too. If you're a car customer of ours, definitely reach out. We'll work with you on pricing on those trailers, but check them out there if you're interested. Again, you can get to them by going to our car website, even on the inventory tab there, click the trailer inventory, or you can go directly to our trailer website at hankstershaulers.com, and you'll be able to view all the photos, pricing, descriptions, options, everything you would need to know on the trailers themselves. With that said, let's go ahead and get this down off of our lift, go underneath the hood, fire this 383 motor up, and let you hear what it sounds like.